Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I have some Yak-3 VK-107 gameplay for you. Now we're going to be jumping right into the action as usual. Now I'm flying this one against the Japanese, which to be honest is kind of a meh nation to fight against. Especially in the Yaks from my personal experience. Now the Yak-3 VK-107 does have a significant advantage over the Japanese. Because the actual engine power of this plane is pretty ridiculous, and in a straight line without weapon you will easily go over 500 kilometers an hour, which is quite a remarkable feature of this plane. Now obviously it is premium, so you will have to spend some of your golden eagles to get it, but I would say since they kind of made the Focke-Wulf 190D series bit less competitive in my opinion. So I would say this is actually right now the best premium tier 4 plane to buy for the Russians, because the D9 it still is decent, but it's not what it used to be. Now also given the fact that the Yaks are actually probably the easiest planes to actually get into because they're very forgiving with their flight model, I would say that the Yak-3 VK-107 is probably one of the nicest premiums as a starting player that you can get, maybe apart from the Yak-9M, I believe it is, which is sitting a bit lower on the tech tree, but it's still a very nice plane to get into, although it is a little bit on the expensive side. Now, while I was rambling on about that, I managed to get myself 2 kills already and critted another one. And I'm actually going to come up to the crit run right now, and I'm about to finish him off. So that was already actually going to be it for the very first clip. This was something that I had laying around for quite a while, so I'm actually quite glad that I found a purpose for this clip. Now, the second game takes us over alternate history Berlin, where we fight against the joint forces of America and Britain. Now, the first target up is a Wyvern, which is kind of, right now, in a pretty bad energy state. That's why I actually continue going up, because I see that he's kind of trying to follow me, and right about now he's starting to stall out, so this is the perfect moment for me to pounce on him. So I just use my flaps nose over and, well, get my guns on target. I actually thought that I wasn't gonna get the kill on that guy, but surprisingly, actually, the LA9 didn't manage to kill him. But, hey, I managed to get a kill out of that, so who am I to complain? Now, at this moment, I was actually a little bit surprised, because I actually thought that the Sea Fury right in front of me was the Tier 1 biplane. But it wasn't actually the Tier 1 biplane, it was just the Sea Fury of the British Naval Air Force. But that got me a little bit confused for a second there. But the Sea Fury right here actually makes a pretty big mistake. He just turns right in front of me with not enough energy to even get away from me, so I managed to get a very low effort kill. Now, there is 2 Spitfires above us. One of them is diving onto me, but as I said before, the Yak-3 VK-107 is actually a surprisingly fast plane. Now, that is obviously the main selling point of the Yak-3 VK-107, because it's got a way better engine than all the other Yaks, and it's supposed to be a lot faster, but still, for a Yak to be able to go this fast in a straight line and keep up its speed quite well without any issues. Now, I am turning back into that fight because I see that there's quite a few friendlies around now, so it's not as much of a one-sided fight as it was before. Now, I try and get some shots on here, but I was a bit too slow with my maneuvering, and I, to be honest, probably shouldn't even have fired those shots, but doesn't really matter. Now I go, just turn back into that, I see the other LF Mark 9 coming in for me, so I evade him and go back on the other Spitfire that is now on my friendly, because I kind of want to try and save my friends as much as possible. Now I look behind me because I see the Spitfire on the minimap behind me, and it always pays, if you just look behind you, Like, if you have a little bit of time for your engagement, and even if you don't, you should always look behind you if you see anyone behind you, especially if there's someone that you know that is very close, or you see a red dot behind you on the map, because it will save you more than it will cost you a kill. Now I dive back down on the Spitfire, getting some early hits. I keep turning in him. I kind of do a little bit of spray and praying here, and I'm actually a bit too fast, which, as I said again, in a Yak is a surprise for me, because I don't really see them as really fast planes, but this one is actually really surprising, because it just catches speed so fast. Now, I just do a little loop, come back on his tail. He's flying very close to the ground, but I actually managed to get a pretty nice kill out of that shot. I go for the LF Mark 9 as I see that he is on a friendly I-185. So I turn back around because I overshot, try and get some more shots on, but this was a kind of a weird engagement because I just kept getting very little windows of opportunity to actually shoot him. Now I turn back in on him, and he is trying to evade my friendly over there, and that puts him in a very good position for me to shoot at him. I get some nice shots into his engine, setting him on fire, and the damage of that fire is actually going to mount up pretty fast, because before I can even get my guns back on, he's already dead. Now, one issue that there is with the Yak-3 VK-107 is the ammo count. The ammo count is quite minimal. Now, I say minimal, even though that is not really the case, because if you have some trigger patience and know where to place your shots and place them well, there will be games where you do quite well, but there will also be games where you don't really seem to have just enough ammo to really finish the deal. Because I have run into occasions where I actually ran out of ammo before I could kill the last enemy. Now, I'm going to be making a jump cut here. I'm just going to be jumping ahead to the point in time where we come close enough to the Tempest to actually fight him. Now, what I did here was actually turn off the engine for a bit, because my engine was starting to overheat quite rapidly, and I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't melt on me. So I just turned it off and used the flaps a bit, but now that I've kind of glided within range of the Tempest when he tried to help out the B-17, I just line up a shot right here. He's not really making it difficult, but to be honest, he can't really do anything because there's 3 of us around him, and there's just nothing he can really do. Now, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will, however, leave the video running because there were 2 enemies still alive, and I actually saw one of them. It was the A26, but I kind of failed because, first of all, I didn't really have enough ammo, and I was getting a little greedy maybe for that kill. Now, the other guy is the B-17. I actually don't see him for the rest of this game, as the only guy that will actually be left after I die is an I-185, which sadly also dies to the A26. So we did actually lose this game, which was quite a bummer, but there's nothing I can really do about it now. So, as I said before, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I will leave it running for your enjoyment. I don't know if it's going to be really enjoyable, but I just thought I'd leave it in there. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.